While recent government policy like the coronavirus tax breaks, while recent government policy like the coronavirus stimulus payments or the child tax credit might seem like a boon to the United States people, it actually might be the case that they are hurting the United States people because they're all financed by increasing the amount of US dollars that exist. Let's show you the amount of money in circulation by year. So starting in the 80s, this graph starts, and you can see after the 2007 recession, the money supply has more rapidly increased than it did in the past. And then you can see right here at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic that the federal government's response to this was to rapidly print money to fund all of their stimulus and economic recovery measures to ensure that we didn't go into an economic tailspin in the height of the pandemic. So that's the money supply, the amount of dollars that exist. And you have to think, if you have $100 in the bank account and the total amount of money in the economy rapidly increases, that means that those $100 that you have in the bank account are worth less by the virtue of the fact that they are suddenly less rare. So let's show you, you've seen how this rapid increase of the amount of money, let's show you how fast the wages of the American people have increased in that same period. And I have to move my camera up because it is so low on the graph. You'll see slow increase that is not at all commensurate with the level of increase that we've seen in the money supply. So what does that mean? Well, this website, inflationchart.com, allows us to divide the increase in our wages by the increase in the money supply. And basically what this does is visualize the effect of the increased money supply on your purchasing power with your wages. And this is a pretty disturbing graph because it shows that the ability of your income to actually have purchasing power has gone down by virtue of the fact that the amount of money in the economy has gone up. You see this direct correlation here, sharp increase in money supply, and then a sharp decrease in our income divided by the money supply, simply because there's no way that our incomes as United States citizens could keep up with this increase in money supply. This also means that while it seems like our economy's been doing really well if you've been watching the stock markets, here we have the S&P 500. If you follow stocks, you know that we've been on a tremendous bull run, which means people have been investing a lot of money and seeing a lot of profits over the last number of years. And you might say, wow, we've even survived the pandemic with a strong stock market, with a strong economy. And this is something that President Donald Trump liked to tout all the time, his super strong economy. Well, here's the money supply in the same period, and I'm sure by this point you know where this is going. If you divide the gains in the stock market by the increases in the money supply, you see that we've actually taken a nosedive in the stock market, but that this nosedive has been artificially smoothed out by increasing the money supply. So what's the downside of doing all of this? Well, to create these artificial stock market gains, you are deflating people's real purchasing power. And that's why we've seen the inflation that we've seen in the last couple of months. And this is something that conservatives have been warning about for a very long time, but that has failed to noticeably catch up with us until quite recently. And many economists on the left who are proponents of the new monetary theory, which posits that you can take out basically an unlimited amount of debt, say that this is something that is temporary. However, they don't have any plans to reduce the amount of debt spending or reduce the amount of creation of new dollars anytime in the near future. So it seems as if this pattern of the purchasing power of the dollar being rapidly eroded by government programs is here to stay. Let this assumption be wrong for the benefit of all of us, but I fear that that is the case. If you're into videos about finance and economics, please subscribe to the channel. I talk about these topics a couple times a week.